Okay, so factorising quadratic equations 2. So in the previous video we did something along the lines of x squared plus let's see 7x plus 10, and this equals 0. Okay, so I know that this involves two sets of brackets, and this will equal 0, and I know that this is x and this is x, because x times x gives me x squared. So all it is now is what times what will give me 10, that if I add or subtract will give me 7. Okay, and I know that 5 times 2 will give me 10, and 5 plus 2 gives me 7. So I get plus 5 plus 2, or plus 2 and plus 5, it doesn't matter. And then if they ask you to solve it, we just say x equals, take the number, change the sign. Again, we'll have another value of x, so x equals, take the number, change the sign. And remember, this is where on the x-axis the line will cut. Now, where it cuts is what we refer to as roots. Okay, so this equation has two real roots. Okay, which means that it cuts the line twice. Now sometimes you'll get an equation and it will only cut the line once, so it will just touch the line. So for example, let's say we've got x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 0. Now if we factorise that, and this equals 0, I know it's x, I know it's x, because x times x gives me x squared. Now 4 4s are 16, and 4 plus 4 does give me 8. So x plus 4, x plus 4. Now if I was to solve this, x would equal minus 4, and x would equal minus 4. So we can see we've got the same answer. So this means when you plot your graph, okay, the curve will come down and it will just touch here at minus 4. Okay, so we say this has one real root. Now we can have equations that have no real roots. The reason for that is that the equation, when you draw the line, will be up here somewhere. It won't touch the x-axis. Okay, and this will also mean that this equation is not solvable. Okay, now you don't really need to worry about that, because at GCSE level this doesn't occur. Okay, at high level it does, but this doesn't occur. So if we have let's say we've got x squared minus 2x minus 8, okay, and this equals 0. Now if they say to factorise this, okay, we know that it's 2 brackets, okay, and this will equal 0. If you were to solve it, sometimes they just give you the equation and just say factorise. Now I know x multiplied by x will give me x squared. Now what I do is the fact that these are minuses doesn't really concern me. Okay, I'm still interested in what will give me 8. Now 8 times 1 will give me 8, and that won't give me minus 2. Now 4 times 2 will give me 8, and 4 minus 2 will give me 2. I'm not interested in the minus at the moment. All I'm interested in is the fact that 4 minus 2 will give me 2. So I know 4 and 2 are my numbers. Okay, so 4 and 2 are my numbers. Now these have to give me this middle number. It has to give me minus 2. Okay, so if I go back, just so I don't go too fast, so 4 times 2 gives me 8. Now what that means is one of these must be plus and one of these must be minus, because a minus times a plus will give me a minus, but it's which one. Okay, and students have a lot of problems with this. They'll write the wrong sign. So if you do it this way, this will guarantee you get the right sign with the right number. So I know that 4 and 2, if I add or subtract, should give me minus 2. So 4 without a sign 2 will give me minus 2. Now what signs do I need to put in here to make this true? For example, if I put plus 4 minus 2, that will give me plus 2. That's not what I want. Now if I have minus 4 plus 2, that will give me minus 2. That's what I want. So I can see that the 4 is a minus and the 2 is a plus. Now this will always work. Okay, so I urge you to do this if you get confused. Now if you want to, you can multiply this out to get back to this. But I never do. I'm that arrogant that I never do it. Okay. Now if they happen to say solve it, then x will equal, take the number, change the sign. So x will just equal 4, or you can write plus 4 if you want. And x will equal, take the number, change the sign, minus 2. That's simple. Okay. Now if you want to, again you don't have to do this at all, but if x equals 4, if I was to substitute it into that equation, it would indeed give me 0. And if I put this value of x into that equation and worked it through, it would also give me 0. And these two numbers are the only numbers where this is true, where it will give me 0. Okay, so let's give you another one just to see how you go. So x squared plus 2x minus 15 equals 0. Let's say they say factorise and solve, so we open a bracket and we open another set of brackets, and this will equal 0, as all quadratics do. Now x squared is positive, so this is x and this is x. Now 15 and 1 won't get me 2, so that's no good to me. Now 5 and 3 will give me 15, and 5 take away 3 will give me 2. So I know 5 and 3 are my numbers, so I write 5 and 3, and that has to equal plus 2. Okay, so it's just a question of what signs go in here to make this true. Well, plus 5 minus 3 will give me plus 2. So plus 5 will go in one bracket, minus 3 will go in the other bracket. So x will equal minus 5 and x will equal, if you want to, write plus 3, that's totally okay. So you factorised and solved it. Okay, so let's do one more. So let's say we've got x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0. Okay, so we factorise it. So we put our two brackets in and this equals 0. Now x multiplied by x will give me x squared. Now hopefully you're getting the idea now that whatever I multiply, if I add or subtract, must give me this number. Now 6 times 2 will give me 12 and 6 plus 2 will give me 8. Remember, ignore the signs for the moment. So I know that 6 and 2 in some shape or form must give me minus 8. Okay, you're always looking for this number. So what signs do I need to put in here to make this true? Well, that would need to be minus 6 and that would be minus 2, because minus 6 minus 2 will give me minus 8. So in my brackets I put minus 6 and minus 2. So here x will equal, take the number, change the sign, x will equal 6, and here x will equal, take the number, change the sign, x will equal 2. Okay, this is just practice, but this little sum here, okay, this little sum here that we're doing will help you find the missing numbers in here. Okay, I promise you it will help you. Okay, so this is if we get positives and negatives or all negatives inside an equation, then don't panic because you've got negatives and positives. Okay, you still use the same rule, which is what times what will give you the number, but in some shape or form will give you the middle number. Okay, then do this little sum here, because that will crack it so quickly and the game is over. Okay, so I'll do a further factorising quadratics and I'll take you through a few bits and pieces that will help you if it gets slightly more difficult. Okay, so good luck and just practice.